The first match was Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa for the Ulafala to decide the undisputed tribal chief. This match right here, I liked it. I thought it was great. I really want to give big props to Solo Sikoa, who really stepped it up in this match. Like, I think this would have been a worthy PLE match. Now, did I want to see this go ahead and main event WrestleMania? I don't know about that, honestly. I think there's a lot more bigger marquee matches. But Solo Sikoa, man, for so long, he was the stoic, just, stand there. He basically, is the bodyguard that does not say anything. And I knew he could talk a lot more based on what he did in NXT and stuff. And for so long, he was that. And this whole run that they did throughout 2024 with the new bloodline versus the old bloodline story arc, it really allowed, I feel, Solo Sikoa to be able to, be more of himself, put more of his personality into the microphone. I think he definitely got a lot more comfortable from where he started to where he ended up here. And I think he really nailed it out of the park. I really enjoyed the last match he had with Cody Rhodes in the steel cage match. I enjoyed the War Games match, and I enjoyed this match here. He really took it to Roman Reigns, and particularly the way the story was laid out. Roman did a great job selling for Solo, making him look a beast, and then when it came time for Solo to make Roman look like the defiant baby face and everything to make the huge comeback, it was great. The match really gelled. I was actually there in person for the very original tribal combat match between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns in person, and as I mentioned in my review for my SummerSlam review that I did for 2023, that match was okay, but it was not the best of what the bloodline stories had offered. And I had actually thought the first two Jey matches, despite being not in front of an audience, I thought the first two matches that Roman had with Jey was better than the third match, even though it was in front of an audience. But this match was much better. This match right here, to me, just had a certain level of intensity that I felt was lacking in that very first Tribal Chief match with Roman and Jey. So I thought this was good. There was a lot of great hard-hitting action and everything, and of course there was a lot of shenanigans. Eventually we get the new bloodline coming out, and this was followed up by Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso and Sammy coming out, and even Kevin Owens got involved and stunned Roman Reigns. And I think that was very telling from a story standpoint, because Kevin Owens, he hates the bloodline, yet he has stooped so low to go ahead and help the new bloodline help beat the leader of the old bloodline. So that's how much he's being taken there. That was incredible. Hey, we got main event girl in the chat. Thanks for joining. She says, what did you think of Ripley winning the title back? Oh, I loved it. I'm going to actually get more to that in my review coming up, but right now we're focusing here on the Roman and Solo, so stay tuned. But man, Roman and Solo, I thought they had a fantastic match. It was a lot of shenanigans. Audience was really into the whole match, and at the end, Roman, he eventually is able to land the spear, which I think Solo kicked out of the first time, but the second time Roman lands it, 1, 2, 3, gets to Ulafala, and this is where we have The Rock coming out. So The Rock comes out, and he's doing a slow-paced walk, and the camera angles are lingering, and The Rock's not looking too happy, but he takes the Ulafala and he puts it on Roman Reigns. They do the Samoan handshake, and then they embrace, hug, and The Rock leaves the ring and gives Roman the whole ring to basically be acknowledged. And Roman is now back to being the official, the true, the only Tribal Chief. Like I said, I thought the match was great. It was a great blow off. I'm glad that they're getting done with it. But man, once again, looking back on this, it's like, it felt like, okay, was The Rock going to do a rock bottom and maybe take the Ulafala off, because he is the High Chief, which I believe would be higher than being the whole deal with him being the, what was that called? Being the Tribal Chief. Yeah, the High Chief is higher, obviously, than the Tribal Chief. So, it's interesting. Like I said, I'm not giving up hope on this storyline. We'll see where it goes from there. But man, yeah, I would have loved to see more when it comes to The Rock, as far as progressing the stories that had already been built up so extremely well from 2024. But I'm glad to see Roman finally move on from this storyline, who I think is definitely going to be a huge contender for the Royal Rumble. And I'll talk more about that towards the end of the review as far as where I'm thinking to go with this. By the way, being themselves, I forgot to mention this when I was talking about Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa here. I wanted to say Solo Sikoa, I think, definitely has a bright future ahead of him as a main event player. The thing about it is, it's this character that they had him playing as the new tribal chief. It just comes off so much as Roman Reigns, it's Roman Reigns shtick, not his own shtick. And I think now I want to see Solo Sikoa be himself more, because I think when you have him doing the Ula Fala and you're asking the people to acknowledge him, yeah, it got the heel heat and what they wanted, because the idea was supposed to be that he's this knockoff version of the tribal chief. That's kind of what they wanted him to be. And everything and stuff like that, and he played it. But I think the thing is, you can only get so far, because everyone associates all that whole acknowledge me, the Ula Fala, it's associated with Roman Reigns. So I really want to see, as far as Solo Sikoa, what he's going to do different now. I think hopefully they're going to have Jacob Fatu. I would love it if he goes like, Solo, I hate you. And then, he tags him, said it, hitting them with the whole, I love you, Solo. Jacob Fatu, that dude's a beast, by the way. So I think doing Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, that is definitely the right next thing to do as far as the story goes there. But yeah, I think Solo Sikoa can be a main event player to come. I'm going to be looking forward to seeing what he does now that he's not restrained to doing what Roman Reigns was doing all this time.